Imagine a scenario in which new regulations that have the potential to drastically alter the sport's nature quiet the roar of Formula One motors. With a slew of new rules, the F1 scene is expected to experience a cataclysmic transformation in 2026. Not everyone, though, agrees. The biggest teams in the sport are strongly retaliating. What makes them so against these modifications? Would these new regulations mean the end of the exciting races we have come to love? We are going to delve deep into the topic that is roiling the Formula One world today. We'll investigate the causes of the opposition, consider any possible effects on racing, and speculate about what this might portend for the sport's future. Secure your seat, as this is a ride you shouldn't pass up. Drivers and F1 teams are speaking out about their views on the upcoming regulations for 2026 that were recently announced. The majority of teams and drivers oppose the 2026 regulations and find it impossible to fulfill the goals that the FIA has laid out. With these new 2026 vehicles, everything could alter. Discussions and gatherings were previously halted over the reasons this regulation was established, and there isn't an appropriate approach to conduct these meetings already underway in Canada, correct? Following the Thursday revelation concerning the potential adjustments leading up to the Grand Prix, what are the 2026 regulations, the teams involved, and will there be any changes? Prior to teams beginning construction of these new vehicles that follow the new 2026 regulations, let's first discuss the reasons the clubs are worried, because there are many things to discuss and some benefits, at least in the eyes of the fans. But there's a lot to express from the drivers and the teams. Teams and drivers frequently express worries about regulation changes, which is a recurrent subject in Formula One. Fears of long-term effects or the simple wish to persuade the FIA to reevaluate particular points are the driving forces behind these thoughts. Active aerodynamics is one of the main areas of concern. Both the front and rear wings use these technologies, working together to lessen the drag reduction system's efficacy and provide an overtaking mode to make overtaking easier. The objective is to reduce drag by up to 55% using the new heavier 50/50 electric and internal combustion engines to increase the car's straight line speed. The proactive aerodynamics have two modes that are intended to considerably increase straight line speed: the low drag X mode and the high downforce Z mode. Teams are especially concerned because these modes can be used at any time by drivers while braking dynamics and strategy of the race. Unprecedented control over aerodynamic settings during a race has sparked questions about safety and equity. Although the front and rear wings are designed to automatically open to cut drag on straights, there are worries from a number of sources that this feature may not work as intended when the vehicle is braking. If these parts don't properly deactivate before reaching braking zones, then there is a problem. This might result in incidents like the one that happened to Marcus Ericsson at Monza, where his rear wing failed to close and he went out of control quickly. In the event that there is insufficient downforce, particularly when applying strong braking, the vehicle may become unstable and cause serious accidents. The possibility of active aerodynamic elements failing, especially at crucial times, is concerning, even though safety in Formula One has significantly improved. George Russell has already brought attention to this matter, pointing out that the front and rear wings could malfunction before reaching brake zones. This may result in incidents like Marcus Ericsson's disaster at Monza, where he lost control of his vehicle while traveling at a high speed due to his rear wing failing to close. Insufficient downforce could cause the car to become unstable and perhaps cause serious crashes, especially when applying strong braking. The weight of the cars is another significant consideration. Teams contend that the weight is too low, endangering passengers' safety and impairing the vehicle's performance. Fans and drivers like Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, and Fernando Alonso have frequently stated their desire for lighter, more compact vehicles. Losing weight is thought to improve racing overall by making it possible for improved handling and more competitive track times. Although these drivers sincerely feel this way, they also have the best interests of their teams in mind. Reaching the new weight restriction of 30 kilograms or less is difficult and mostly up to the teams. It's not necessarily been simpler for teams to meet this weight restriction thanks to the FIA. Rather, the clubs must minimize weight loss without sacrificing downforce and aerodynamic performance. James Vowles was among the first to observe that with all the safety precautions and regulations of a Formula One car, it is very difficult to reach this new weight restriction. Following years of coping with stringent weight restrictions, teams like Alpine and Williams are losing roughly 410 kilograms each as a result of weight problems, which under the current restrictions are already having difficulties due to overweight cars. The issue of fulfilling a different weight limitation increases if we now establish new laws that are not really different from the current ones, but include more battery-powered engines that add at least 30 kilograms, if not 50 kilograms. To reach this new weight limit, the teams must put in a lot of work and energy. For instance, Alfa Romeo's car was strong in the beginning of 2022, mostly because it satisfied the limit on weight, rather than having to be a better vehicle. The majority of other teams were having trouble with their weight, which had an impact on their play. This also introduces the topic of cost efficiency. Now that the cost cap is in effect, teams need to concentrate on losing weight by improvements, such as strengthening the chassis. Complicating matters further are the active aerodynamic components at the front and rear. Given the constrained budget, teams have to deal with the expense of fixing a broken front wing, which can be substantial. These new restrictions present a big challenge in terms of properly controlling expenses in an era where maintaining the highest degree of competition is essential. Rear wings often get damaged during races, which can result in expensive repairs and maybe impair performance, since the 20 could have a detrimental effect on the entire riding experience. Prominent individuals like James Vowles and Toto Wolff have expressed their disapproval of the current weight restrictions and the ineffectiveness of active aerodynamic parts. It is thought to be an impossible challenge to reduce the weight of an automobile without losing speed or safety, especially with the new heavier hybrid engines. On paper, the notion of a lighter, more compact vehicles with active aerodynamics seems good, since it might allow for better driver control and thrilling races without the need for the conventional DRS system. But drivers and teams' feedback has been mostly unfavorable. Prominent drivers such as Fernando Alonso, Max Verstappen, and Lewis Hamilton have voiced worries about the new car's anticipated slower and less efficient speeds. Test drivers have pointed out that the 2026 cars may not meet the standards for speed and efficiency set by Formula One cars. Additionally, as evidenced by the notable adjustments made in 2014 and 2022, the implementation of new rules often ends in wider gaps between teams. This has been a source of discontent for both spectators and teams, because it can result in one team having a significant edge over the others and lessen the competitiveness of the sport. To maintain excitement and appeal, Formula One must ensure close competition. And now we'd like to hear from you. What do you think about these 2026 regulations? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more.